Here we are in Epping, New Hampshire at New England Dragway. Friday morning, getting ready for the day. Got in late last night in Boston, got up this morning, drove to the track, getting ready to do some racing. Anyways, looks like we're gonna have some pretty decent weather for here in Epping. You got the motorhomes up on the hill. Pretty cool, nostalgia place to be at. Anyways, see how the weekend goes. All right, we are rolling up for Q2, which is actually our Q1. We didn't run Friday night. I know there's a lot of questions about that. Basically, the weather, looking at the weather, we weren't even going to be close to that the rest of the weekend, so there was no real information to gain, so we thought we'd just skip it and concentrate on what we need to do for race day. Anyways, hopefully Q2 here goes really well, and talk to you guys in a minute. Alright, we're heading up for our second qualifier, me and Izzy here. And, first qualifier, we pulled tires loose and had a little electrical gremlin. I think we got the electrical gremlin taken care of. We changed some wires and stuff, so hopefully Q3 for us, or Q2 for us, Q3 goes better, but we're in the field and it's all good. So here we go. Well, we're lining up against Doug Coletta in our last qualifier at Epping here, so hopefully we can go A to B and get this thing ready for tomorrow. Alright, Robert AU asked about how often we service the blower and what do we do to it when we service it and what makes one blower better than another. Usually what makes one blower better than another is just its consistency, like it holds the same amount of boost every time and doesn't give us issues. That's a blower you like to have. Some lose their boost faster than others. They get, you know, when these things get tweaked around and stuff, they're not always perfect. So Jeff's going to help us out with some of these questions because he's servicing this blower right now. It's Saturday after our second qualifying pass in Epping, and the blower needed service. The engine got a little warm, and so then he's got to move the strips. But so he's already got the rotors out of it, and that's what it looks like inside. Not clean. Not cleaned yet, but anyways, there's it. And so you got the front plate and the end plate, the other front plate. So normally, in between each round, if the blower doesn't need service, which can go 3 to 4 passes without needing service, if it's happy, he'll just check the clearances, and he's just using a feeler gauge and checking the clearance between the rotor and the case. Correct, Jeff?
That's it. Check the bottom clearance on it in between runs. Make sure none of the strips get discolored or smeared or hot like this one did. This one got pretty hot. Yep. Then check all the nuts and all that. Make sure everything's tight because they vibrate violently. Check the injector, make sure nothing's cracked on that. Check all the fuel lines, just double checking everything. These things are rough.
Yes. So now when we're doing a full service on the blower, you're switching out what we call the strips.
Yes.
IDs and ODs.
Yep.
So you have the jig here, and then you have
brand new strips.
ID strip,
yep.
The white ones,
IDs,
and then the off-color ones are the ODs.
Yep. And these are the ones that get worn the most. I mean, the IDs get worn too, but yeah, usually the ODs get,
because they're wiping the outside of the case.
Yeah. Yep. That's what seals it to get the boost.
And then we even have the little clover leaves on the end to seal it, even on the end, trying to get all the boost that we can out of these things. And he has a cutter, so he'll cut these to size. When they map these blowers out, they spend a lot of time figuring out what the case wants, and they can even cut these tapered from one end to the other to accommodate wear and things like that. correct?
That's it. Yep. Take a lot of time to get them perfect.
Okay.
Make the race car happy.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, bud.
It is Sunday morning, race day here in Epping. We've got the car ready to go. We're gonna warm it up here in a second. Go up. First round, we've got Steve Torrance, and we'll see how that goes, and hopefully we have a long day. So I've gotten some questions about our fuel system and PSI and stuff like that, and I can't get super specific, but anyways, that's the shot of the fuel pump itself, the two big main feed lines coming in and coming up. But the big thing that would surprise you all is how much PSI we actually use. Now everybody out here is a little bit different depending on the area of the nozzles that they have, but it ranges anywhere from 475 PSI all the way up close to 700 PSI depending on how their fuel system's set up. So a lot of fuel pressure to deliver this much fuel that quickly. We're rolling up for first round. We got Steve Torrance. Pretty good crowd out at Epping today. Good weather. So hopefully we can turn a few wind lights on today. But anyways, here we roll. Hey guys, I think it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday after Epping. Obviously that's not quite how we wanted the race to go, but that's racing, as Clay would say. He takes it a little better than I do. Losing is part of every sport, but losing first round is particularly a sharp one for me. If we go a couple rounds, I feel pretty good about our performance. If we go out first round, I'm generally not the most happy person for about an hour, and then I get over it. But anyways, all in all, pretty good weekend other than that. Hey, losing to Steve again, but he's the best out there, so we've got to take him out one of these days. I got a couple more questions I'm going to answer, and then we're going to go to Norwalk and see if we can't do some good. The other thing I'd like to mention is Mike Klober, our crew chief. You know, if I don't have the answer for some of these questions, because I don't have the answers for all these questions, he is very open to tell us on the crew anything we want to know. He's a very open crew chief in that way, that if you're working for him and you're doing your job well, he will expand your knowledge to anything and how far you want to take it, and it's very appreciated. One of the questions I got was from Robert AU. Why aren't screw-type blowers used in the NHRA? Because the NHRA won't let us. For top fuel, it's purely a rules thing. NHRA doesn't want us to use them. They're very efficient, and they last longer than a root-style blower. But I don't have all the reasons why they won't let us or other classes use them, other than they're very efficient and they work really well. That being said, they could always just cut the boost down to compensate for it, because we would probably not go through as many blowers, because they don't wear as bad as other blowers, from what I've been told. I've never ran a screw. I've just read about them and talked to people that run them and stuff like that. But anyways, it's just a rules thing, and it's up to the NHRA, and that's what they've chosen to do. Another question I got, sorry, crewman, this is from Gene Jaman, asked crewman standing behind the car, what's he watching for? Klober's moved. He used to always stay to one side. Now he's standing directly behind the car. He's mostly watching for a hole out. You can see it. I mean, it starts puffing white out of one side, and we're not in the hunt. Shut it down. If it puts a hole out and we keep running it, it's probably going to hurt itself. If we're winning and it's on Sunday, we're going to let it hurt itself and we'll deal with it. But if it's on qualifying or we're getting our butts whipped anyways, he'll click the kill box, kill the car, save the motor, save some parts, and that's what he's looking for. But he's also watching a lot of things. He's watching tires. He's looking down the track after to see what what the tire contact patch looks like. There's a lot of information he gleans from watching the car go down the track. So that's, and then Chris is up there as well, watching his side, and he'll help tell if Klober doesn't see a hole out. Chris will tell him there's a hole out. But that's mainly what they're looking for. But anyways, if you like what we're doing, like and subscribe, ask me questions, keep asking questions. I love answering them. I get the crew involved in answering them anymore. So we appreciate it, and we'll see you all in Norwalk.